Well, a couple of weeks ago, Jeff Fahey from One Life to Live told us about a reoccurring nightmare he had while he was traveling around the world. Today, we're going to find out what it meant by consulting with our dream analyst. Please welcome back the actor who plays race car mechanic Gary Corelli, Jeff Fahey, and the author of Living Your Dreams, psychologist Dr. Gail Delaney. Welcome, Dr. Delaney.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the dreams first. Why do we have reoccurring nightmares or dreams?
We have them because there's some problem in our lives, or in our given lives, and we're trying to solve the problem. The nightmare comes again and again, and we don't understand the nightmare, and we don't solve the problem. As long as you have your nightmare recur, you can be sure you have not solved that problem. If you understand your nightmare, if you can do something with it, you can often solve a problem that could have gone on for another decade of your life. So dreams really can help us to get through it more quickly.
Just briefly, is there a difference between a nightmare and a dream, except a dream is okay and a nightmare you don't like? Is that the only difference?
That's the major difference. Usually you could say that a nightmare is dealing with a problem that's gotten fairly serious in your life.
Okay. Jeff, what was this reoccurring nightmare?
Okay. I had this particular nightmare for a long time, in the early years of my travels, that I was being chased by a gang, and they were throwing knives at me. And the more they would throw the knives, every knife that they threw would hit me. And it got heavier and heavier and more difficult to move. And this dream, it just kept coming back and back, and especially I spent time in India, and it was very, very strange and confusing period in my life. And one time, I was up in Nepal, and I spent some time up in the Himalayas, which was a great time in my life. I cleared up a lot of problems I was having at the time. And anyway, they were chasing me one night, and they threw, the leader of the gang, he threw this knife at me. And it hit the floor. I was in this building, the marble floor, and the knife slid and spun in front of me.
Was this the only time that happened, as opposed to the other times?
The knife would always hit me before. They would always hit me. And
this time it missed?
It missed, and it was right there in front of me. And I picked up the knife and threw it back and hit the guy. And
have you ever had it since then?
No, I haven't. No.
What does that mean, Dr. Delaney?
Well, now, what we have to remember is that most of the dream images, even the most frightening ones in our dreams, represent parts of our own personality. So one would guess that Jeff was running away from some part of his own personality. Let's find out about it. What was this gang like? What kinds of people were in the gang?
Well, I think they were just, well, they were street people. It was...
gang type?
Yeah, gang type people, which I had grown up, part of my youth. I lived in a, well, it wasn't a nice
rough
part of town.
Okay.
Were they faceless people, or were they people who...
well, they weren't, they had face and everything, but not people I could
not
identify.
people you recognize, that's what I meant, yeah.
And so were they very negative, or were they coming at you with evil intent?
Yeah, the whole thing, it was very negative.
What was going on in your life at that time that was very negative, and which, as in the dream, you finally turn and confront, and you learn to overcome it? You stop running from your own negativity, perhaps, represented by this gang. How was that going on?
Well, I can't answer that specifically. I mean, I think we all have, there's a part of our life that we choose not to confront. I mean, it's in certain things we approach in a negative way. And
was that a trend at the time in your life? To run. Usually the dream will anticipate a change in your personality. You would have the dream of turning and confronting.
Right.
And from that point on in your life, you might find an ability to confront, and that your life would work out then better for you.
Well, all I can say is that I had a different, after that, it was, I'm not saying that it was at this day, in this moment, that my life changed, but it was at a changing point in my life, and I approached things in a more of a positive manner. So,
which was indicated by the knife dropping and spinning, or?
Spinning, and Jeff didn't go and run anymore. He turned and he got rid of these guys. What he did was finally take up their energy. He didn't kill them off. You never can kill off a part of your personality. But in this dream, he took forceful action to stop running.
Well, let me ask you, I have one reoccurring dream, but it's kind of silly. I mean, it's not as violent as this one or anything. A story with it. I'm glad you had enlightenment in Nepal. And Dr. Delaney, thank you for talking about dreams. We'll do it again.
Thank you.
I want to thank all the rest of our guests and tell you who's coming up tomorrow. We have Beth Maitland from The Young and the Restless, and we've got a soap convention we're going to talk about with John Stamos, James Mitchell, Robert Woods, Mark Arnold. Lots of good things, so keep watching the soaps and be with us tomorrow. Thank you, everybody.
Pictures provided by